Ever tried walking on high-altitude glass? This game's absolutely nuts. You have to figure out if each step is on regular glass or tempered glass. Mess it up and you're toast. With 456 billion won at stake, everyone's losing their minds. If you just stand there, someone might shove you off. Only the last person standing gets the prize. The fourth game kicks off, and the twist is wild. Players are paired up, but guess what? The teams have to face off against each other. Each person gets 10 marbles, and the goal is to win all of the opponent's marbles. Losers? Straight to the afterlife. Everyone's freaking out now. It's basically setting up teammates to turn on each other. This game's all about guessing marbles. Shane's luck is awful, and he's already messed up twice. He's got one marble left, and if he guesses wrong again, he's done. Shane's losing it and accuses James of cheating. James insists he's playing fair. Shane hatches a sneaky plan. He drops to his knees to distract James and, while James is focused on him, swaps all his marbles for pebbles. James only realizes too late that Shane set him up. The game keeps going, and players keep dropping like flies. Thief Girl is crying her eyes out, saying her dad got shot and her mom was sent back to North Korea. She's sticking around just to take care of her brother. Then there's May. Her life's even worse. Her dad, a pastor, abused her and even killed her mom. She's already avenged her mom and has no reason to keep going, so she deliberately loses to Thief Girl. So the Squid Game's still rolling. Big Boss and his sidekick are going head-to-head, and things are getting pretty rough. Big Boss throws his last marble and misses the hole, but his sidekick nails it. Looks like Big Boss takes the win this time. Ethan's up next, facing off against the old man. Ethan's luck is seriously awful, and he's on the brink of losing. So, he starts lying, claiming the old man's got dementia. Whenever the old man wins a round, Ethan says the old man's confused and insists he won. To save his own skin, Ethan swaps his conscience for the old man's 9 marbles. Just then, the old man proposes an all-or-nothing bet with his last marble. Ethan's got 19 marbles, and the old man's got just 1. Ethan's like, "No way, that's cheating." But the old man calls him out, saying Ethan's been lying and stealing marbles from him all along. In the end, the old man decides to give his last marble to Ethan, and gets shot himself. The self-destruct game is finally over. When everyone gets back, they find out that Megan actually got a free pass because she couldn't find a partner. So now, there are only 17 players left, and the prize pot has skyrocketed to 43.9 billion won. Number 69 is crushed. He ended up winning all his wife's marbles, sending her to her death. And now he's so devastated that he decides to hang himself. Meanwhile, the VIPs have arrived. Turns out, the entire Squid Game is being live-streamed for rich folks to watch for fun. The next game is about to start, and the remaining 16 players each grab a vest with a number on it. This number decides their order for the game. Ethan picks 16, and it turns out to be the luckiest number of them all. This game is the wildest of all, high-altitude glass walk. You've got to cross this bridge that's 160 feet in the air. To win, you need to make it to the other side. There are 18 pairs of glass panels, with each pair having 1 tempered and 1 regular glass. Step on the wrong one, and you're done for. The game kicks off with players going in the order of their vest numbers. Player 1 picks the right glass and makes it across safely, but then, bam, he falls right after. Player 2 follows the same path, but takes 1 more step and goes down too. Player 3 thinks he's got it all figured out. If he runs fast enough, he can beat the glass before it gives way. But just as he's about to make his move, even though he's out, he managed to pick the right glass 3 times. Player 4 is kind of forgetful and asks which glass player 3 just stepped on. Player 5, totally confident. "It's the one on the left, I'm sure about it." Never trust anyone in the Squid Game. Player 4 hears Player 5 say to step on the left glass, so he goes for it and bam, falls right through. Player 5 goes, "Oops, I messed up. It was actually the right one." But when it's Player 5's turn, he makes the same mistake and crashes down too. By now, the glass bridge is packed with people. Player 6 is down on his knees, begging for divine intervention. What a waste of time. Player 7, fed up with all the drama, leaps over and starts a fight, only to be thrown off and smash a glass panel. Just as Player 6 thinks he's in the clear, Player 8 comes charging in, pushes him off, and now Player 6 has gone too. Player 8 is left staring at an empty path in front of him, and quickly meets his end as well. So, now player 16, Ethan, is on the bridge, and player 9, Big Boss, is at the front. They've only got 6 minutes left to get across. Ever tried something this insane? Walking across a glass bridge 160 feet up. Pick the wrong pane and you're toast. So, Big Boss decides to play it smart by just standing there, yelling at player 10 behind him. Out of nowhere, player 11 pushes him, calling him a wimp and saying she'll go first. As soon as Megan jumps over, she turns around and grabs Big Boss in a bear hug. He can't shake her off, and Megan's like, "If I'm not making it, neither are you." Big Boss is freaking out. "Let me go, you psycho!" But Megan's not letting go. They both crash down, and now there's only 2 minutes left. Here's the craziest part of the Squid Game, high-stakes glass walking. 13 is killing it. Dude's been working in glass for 40 years and can actually figure out which panes are tempered just by looking at the light. He's aced the last 2 panes. But the VIPs aren't having it. If everyone can figure out the trick, then where's the fun in the game? So they turn the lights down to almost pitch black. Now 13 can't see a thing. At this point, only 4 people are left on the bridge, and there's just 1 piece of glass ahead. They can't see through it, but 13 has a trick up his sleeve. He starts tapping the glass with something, and listens closely to the sound it makes. Ethan hands over the glass bead he has, but time is running out fast. Just then, Shane pulls a seriously low move. Man, these Squid Game players are ruthless. With the clock ticking down, Shane straight up shoves number 13 off the bridge. Now it's just the final 3, and they're racing to the finish. When time's up, the bridge blows up, sending glass everywhere, and slicing Thief Girl's face. But hey, they all make it across. Back at the base, Ethan's fuming at Shane for pushing number 13. Shane snaps back. "You wanna win without getting your hands dirty? That's not how this game works. You should be grateful." To celebrate the 3 who survived, the organizers throw a fancy dinner. But while in the changing room, Thief Girl discovers she's got a huge glass shard stuck in her side, and has to patch herself up. The meal is all high-end stuff, wine and steak. But the 3 are too preoccupied to enjoy it. They stash the cutlery and get ready for the final life or death battle. Back in the lounge, their temporary team is totally falling apart. This is it, Squid Game's grand finale. Out of the original 456 players, only 3 are left, and each one's got a knife, ready for the final showdown. Ethan goes up to Thief Girl, trying to strike a deal. She tells him if she doesn't make it, he should look after her little brother. Ethan sees she's got a nasty injury in her stomach. He tries to get help, but when the door opens, the organizers wheel in a coffin. Ethan turns back just in time to see Shane sneak up and take Thief Girl out. She's done for. Ethan is livid and wants to rush Shane, but the organizers block him. So, here's how the final game works. The attacker has to get into the squid shape and reach the head to win. The defender has to keep the attacker out of the squid shape to win. Ethan opts to attack, and Shane decides to defend. The final showdown of Squid Game kicks off. Ethan sneaks up with a handful of dirt, and makes a dash for the center. Shane rushes in to block him, but Ethan quickly tosses the dirt in his face, and leaps over to the other side. From there, it's a brutal fist fight. They're going at each other with everything they've got, pounding and bruising until they're both bloodied and battered. In the end, Ethan gains the upper hand. Just when he's about to end it all with a knife, he hesitates. Instead of finishing Shane off, Ethan offers to let him vote on whether to stop the game. Shane refuses, and only asks Ethan to take care of his elderly mother before he takes his own life. After all 456 players, Ethan is the last one standing in the Squid Game. He ends up with a massive 456 billion won. When he comes to, he's lying on the street. He digs out his bank card, takes out 10,000 won, and sees he's still got 455,099,000,000 won left. But when Ethan finally gets home, he finds out his mom has passed away. He's made all that money, but it couldn't save her. After winning 456 billion won in the Squid Game, Ethan's still broke because he never touched that cash. A year later, he gets this mysterious card. When he shows up at the spot, he's shocked to find out that the big boss behind the game is actually the old guy from the first game, the one with the brain tumor. Ethan's fuming, asking him why he set up this game and why so many people had to die. The old man's answer? Simple. He did it just for the rich people's entertainment. No big reason beyond that. The old man just wanted to experience the game himself before he died. Before he passes away, he bets Ethan that no one will save the drunk guy freezing outside. Ethan wins the bet. And then the old man dies. After Ethan walks out, he dyes his hair bright red. He hands over thief girl's little brother to Shane's mom and leaves her a whole box of cash. He tells her it's what he owes Shane and a way to make things right for the two who didn't make it. Later, while riding the subway, Ethan spots a guy recruiting new players for the Squid Game. The old man's dead, but it looks like there's an even bigger puppet master pulling the strings. Ethan grabs the recruiter's card and calls the number. He's ready to take down this organization for good. This show's called Squid Game. If you're digging this video, smash that like button and hit subscribe.